Warning, spoilers ahead. Warning, spoilers ahead. What is happening to The Mandalorian right now? I, like almost everyone in the world, thought and still think that The Mandalorian Season 1 is an absolute masterclass in televisual storytelling. And beyond that, it's the best Star Wars content to come out of the Disney era. No contest. From the excellent writing, use of practical effects, the revolutionary technology of the volume, the acting, the directing, and the overall tone and just feel of the show, The Mandalorian quickly became one of the most popular TV shows of all time, and rightfully so. So I ask again, what the hell is happening to it? Almost at the midpoint of the second season, I can confidently say that this isn't the same Mandalorian that we used to know. And you may be tricked into thinking it is, but trust me, something is very, very different. We seem to have switched out an engaging storyline that draws us in and makes us excited for a new episode each week, for mediocre, tensionless bottle episodes that hope we'll just be happy to be in the world of Star Wars and that we won't care or realise that the episodes are just wasting our time. After an incredible first season, with an ending that left us desperately craving more, the second season, it really isn't living up to the first. At least it isn't yet. We are, after all, we're only 3 episodes in, and, with 5 left to go, there is a very real possibility that all the problems I have will be fixed and the show will really start to pick up some steam. But until then, I really feel like the show is dipping its toes into dangerous waters. Waters that, if it's not careful, it will drown in. You see, the first season is this anomaly. It really is. Star Wars at the time was in a rapid decline. Everybody was still screaming at each other about The Last Jedi. The Force Awakens cracks were starting to show, and people had grown really sour on that as well. Nobody saw Solo, despite it actually being a really fun Star Wars film. I'm just saying, maybe give it a chance. And The Rise of Skywalker, from the trailers, looked like a big bland pile of porridge that you'd begrudgingly eat on the last day before the shopping is due to arrive, and you have literally nothing else to eat in the house. What I'm trying to say is, The Mandalorian looked cool in the trailers, and, there was some interest, but nobody was predicting this to be anywhere near as popular and successful as it eventually became. So, why was it? Well, it's because it's the most accessible Star Wars content to come out since that original trilogy. George Lucas may try and tell you that Star Wars is just for kids, but he's wrong. Star Wars is for everybody. Everyone has something that they like about it, something that they can be invested in. The Mandalorian is designed just like those original films. It has something in it everyone can get invested in. For hardcore Star Wars fans, the show has Dave Filoni involved, which means that the attention to detail to Star Wars lore means that even the most diehard fan will have little references and Easter eggs that will have him jizzing in his pants well into the night. For more casual fans, you have a show with an original trilogy aesthetic. The world reminds them of what they love about Star Wars and sucks them right back in. And for regular-ass people, you have a well-written show that tells an intriguing story each week and keeps you wanting more. And, for the soccer moms and the kids, you have Baby Yoda being a new meme every single week whenever you might get bored. But here's the issue. The first season has exhausted all of that content and now needs to give us a new reason to keep coming back every week. Sure, Baby Yoda can keep memeing and people will laugh, but a show's longevity relies on us caring about the story of the show and specifically where it's all going. So I ask this question. Where the fuck is this season of The Mandalorian supposed to be going? The first season is simple and straightforward. The first episode introduces us to the world and the characters, and then Baby Yoda. From there we get an episode where we learn to care about Baby Yoda, so that in the next episode we're invested in his rescue. From there, it's a simple, the Empire are hunting Mando down, so he has to constantly be on the move, which gives us time to assemble the crew for the finale that has everything come to a head. Everything leading up was relevant to make the overall story end up this way. And then, we are left with an amazing tease of just how dangerous Moff Gideon is, and how ruthless he will be next season. And then, what happens? Sure, we get an amazing reintroduction to the show at the start of the season with an awesome episode that blends the intrigue of Boba Fett with an amazing battle sequence. And yeah, it's interesting and Boba Fett is cool, but where's the tension? Where's that ruthless empire? Where is the urgency? Mando spends these first 3 episodes waltzing around like he's taking Baby Yoda on a Sunday stroll. We get one single instance of bounty hunters attempting to take Baby Yoda, but by this point we've seen this a million times. We know he'll be fine. It's even played off as a joke, so what's the point? Why should I care? I'm supposed to care that Mando's eventually going to find some of his own kind and that they'll lead him to a Jedi, but I'm burned out with Jedi by this point. I don't care about some big grand plan to save the universe because we've all seen the sequel trilogy. We know that the First Order rises up and rules the galaxy. So why the hell should I give a shit about the Jedis having Baby Yoda? See, I care about Mando and Baby Yoda. I care about their relationship. I care about how he feels like a surrogate father to Baby Yoda and he wants to save and protect him just like the Mandalorians did for him. I care about how his way of life and how his dedication to being a good person will ultimately save the day. But there's none of that here. There's no simple laid out story about Moff Gideon chasing them down and them having to fight their way out of danger. Instead, there's the vague promise of a direction for this second season, held off by an attempted cover-up of all this stale writing. Each episode so far has relied on fan service to get by, which is a very dangerous thing to rely on. We have Boba Fett in the first episode, X-Wings and the directors of the show being the pilots in the second episode, and then we have Bo-Katan and the mention of Ahsoka Tano in the third. Take those elements away and what substance is there actually left in these episodes? The first one does have a cool Krayt Dragon fight, so that one would still be okay, but there's still no real direction for the season to get us, excited and kick the show off. The second is pointless as fuck. We know Baby Yoda and Mando aren't going to die, and we don't care about this stupid frog woman's eggs, because we're constantly shown Baby Yoda eating them as a joke, which invalidates the emotional weight that they're supposed to carry. And then the third episode has some boring ship takeover that, again, has absolutely no tension. I mean, at one point, Mando literally takes an entire platoon's worth of blaster bolts and he comes out completely unfazed. Why should I care? The biggest problem here is that the show is trying to brand itself as both an overarching story for the whole season, and also a bunch of different directors' visions for each episode, which is shown through separate side mission style stories. And yeah, this worked in the first season because there actually was a tangible story going on and pushing us from location to location. In this season, it's like, yeah, we are running away from the Empire, but they're nowhere near as ruthless as before, and you even sometimes forget that they're even a threat. I mean, I know I did. The show really needs to pick up some steam in these next few episodes, especially if the planned third season has any hopes of doing well. I'll be sure to come back at the end of the season and talk about which direction it ended up going in, but I don't know. So far, I don't have incredible confidence. But I would love to be proven wrong. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Those are my thoughts on The Mandalorian so far. I'll be sure to come back, like I say, at the end of the season, and we'll talk about what happened. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that it goes back to The Mandalorian that we used to know and love. But yeah, be sure to like and subscribe, and if you want more content like this, check out my Umbrella Academy analysis video that's on my channel right now, as well as my podcast Talking Shit, which comes out every single week, where we talk about all things movies and TV shows. We have a bit of fun on there, and yeah. Thanks, guys. See you.